From becoming a mercenary with a gun, meeting Groot somewhere on his path, all the way to becoming an important team player in the toughest situations, Rocket the Raccoon's origin story is yet to be deciphered.
Look at this guy. You believe they call us criminals when he's assaulting us with that haircut? What is this thing? Look how it thinks it's so cool. It's not cool to get help.
Including the important things of everything that has been done to him, to become what he is, his makers, and everything that comes along with the loving trash panda, both good and bad.
I live for the simple things, like how much this is gonna hurt.
No matter what planet you're on, the Guardians of the Galaxy will always be there to lend their expertise in whichever field you need or don't. It's up to you. The band of misfits is a wild bunch, and one of the most interesting characters has to be the so-called trash panda, Rocket the Raccoon. The first Guardians of the Galaxy movie established that Rocket has a pretty nasty backstory, and we quote, being torn apart and put back together over and over and turned into some little monster. However, nothing more has been said about his history in particular, and all the experiments that led to him being what he is, the gunning marksman and mercenary we all love. The most interesting thing about the character that surfaced on the web, outside of his on-screen madness, was the fact that James Gunn confirmed that Rocket's origins and backstory, so to speak, will be explored in a future movie. A movie with the director not giving an exact project that will encompass the whole thing and seeing how things are turning out right now. We're still waiting for Rocket's story to be complete, with us being let on all the secrets that brought his presence to the MCU, especially together with the likes of Groot, who will be getting his own animated series that will hopefully give us a little bit more about his side of the whole story.
Hey, Yumi! Where's Big Green?
As for the supposedly upcoming Rocket project that will explore his endeavors before his debut in the MCU, Gunn also added that the fans will learn more about where he comes from. The story will be a little bit different from the comics, with the whole thing being a little bit more horrible than what we know about Rocket from the character's run in the comics, whatever that means. Outside of Groot getting his own series, Dave Bautista has also shared his desires for smashing that like button, just like you should do if you haven't done so already. But no, actually he shared his desires for a solo movie featuring his character Drax, who went above and beyond and said he would be willing to give up on the character for any future endeavors if it would mean that Drax will get this well-deserved solo project. And while he would kill it in his movie, there's one other member that we think deserves this project, the trash panda we're talking about. According to many, a movie for the character makes the most amount of sense, not because he's one of the most vocal characters in the group, but also because of just how mysterious his arc has been so far. And we're saying this because the upcoming third Guardians of the Galaxy movie could dive at least a little bit deeper into character, but this is just a maybe by now. We'll have to wait and see for ourselves up until any news come out regarding that movie, and until that time comes, we'll stick with what we have on our hands right before us.
I didn't hear. No, I'm good. It's not messy.
So much time has passed, and the writers behind the franchise have yet to scratch the surface of the character. As we mentioned before, the first movie gave us just a little tease of where he comes from, with a big plot thread being left open about his relationship with Groot and how the two ended up together. And that is it. Rocket is one of the most diverse characters of the bunch because he knows a lot about the world and nothing at all at the same time, which combined with the mysterious background we've been going on, would prove to be the perfect combination for one rather successful movie in the near future, don't you think?
You're gonna charm her, and I'm gonna poke her with this thing and extract the reality stone and get gone lickety-split.
We came to know where Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord, came from and what he's about. Avengers Infinity War gave us a huge character development of Gamora, with Avengers Endgame putting Nebula in a surprisingly large role, tying up a lot of loose ends between the two characters, with Drax finally having what he was craving for. The only thing we've seen him talk about on screen is revenge on Ronan and Thanos. Leaving the likes of Rocket and his motivation behind everything under the rug, can you just imagine the character going to Half-World and confronting the people responsible for bringing him into existence in the current state that he is?
Oh, yeah!
As it stands right now, Rocket's story is far from over within the MCU, and an incomplete one. Not because we don't know his life before becoming a member of the Guardians team, but also because we still don't know what's the thing that drives him forward. The recent reports suggest that the High Evolutionary and Lila will be part of the upcoming third Guardians movie, with the latter being a character with whom Rocket falls in love with, and the High Evolutionary being the creator of him, rumors that could become true as they would put the character on a definitive path and something for us to look forward to about the character as well. On the other hand, if the movie doesn't tackle the entire thing, there would be even more stories to be told about the teary-eyed trash panda.
Oh, look. It's like a little puppy, all happy and everything. Do you want to go to space? You want to go to space, puppy?
Among the many things that the Marvel Cinematic Universe still needs to explain shortly comes Rocket's complete arc, there's no doubt about it, and the new wave of characters and their arcs that came through during MCU's Phase 4 surely brought up the discussion about Rocket's origin story, especially after the confirmed Groot series and the movie that Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow got even after her death in Avengers Endgame. Maybe because of the bigger vocabulary, maybe not, but Groot's best friend Rocket has undoubtedly had a somewhat bigger presence in the MCU.
Alright, Operator, she's alone. This is our shot. Thor? Thor!
Not only did he go on different missions with the Guardians, but he also tagged along with other members of the MCU, for instance with Thor to the planet Nidavellir, where they forced Stormbreaker, and Groot being the one to deliver the handle for the weapon. He was also the one who survived the snap of Thanos and helped the others to bring everyone back, and despite him having so much screen time, Marvel has yet to dedicate a little bit more to the character, for example in a standalone movie.
Definitely need to get that last. How am I supposed to fight these things without my stuff?
Being a test subject, his name is 89P13 and he comes from an alien planet called Half-World located in the Keystone Quadrant star system. Thus, the potential movie might showcase how he managed to escape the lab where he was being experimented on, and more importantly how he met Groot, who despite his innocent face is a criminal too, with a record of 22 counts of escape. They are their own version of Bonnie and Clyde to some extent. The movie could also tap into all the missions that the two have gone through before meeting with other Guardians, which could become an important element for the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and the movie exploring even more of the Infinite Galaxy, potentially Rocket's homeworld, and the place where he came from. Gunn also said that the entire trilogy is about a group of outsiders who have all experienced smashing that subscribe button and ringing the notification bell. But no, actually they all experienced childhood trauma, and if Rocket's backstory is explained, we can see him confront his abusers and finally be free from the shackles that are holding him back, much like what Star-Lord did with Ego in the second movie. So far, his origin story doesn't differ too much from the one in the comics. However, the door is open for so many possibilities about the character, and I think I'll be the one saying for everyone here, we're eager to know so much more about the tough but very compassionate Rocket the Raccoon. See you in the next video.